away we go once again on Baseball Tonight. Scott Reese, Harold Reynolds, and Buster Olney. You guys ready to rock?
Ready to go.
Are you ready?
I am ready. We lead off with a guy looking for career win number 200, and that would be Jamie Moyer. Wow. M's, Angels, Vlad Guerrero up the middle, and Jose Lopez perfectly positioned for the 4-3 double play.
Missile.
Bottom two.
What's the
Moyer.
velocity readings on this one?
Garrett Anderson, 337 career against Moyer, but he comes out on the short end there. And location. Mike Morse down the right field line. He's 2 for 2 at this juncture. Richie Sexton in to make it 1-0. 2-0 now. Bottom 5. Adam Kennedy. Right at you.
That's what happens when you got a guy that can locate pitches. You can place your defense where it's supposed to be.
In the 6th, Randy Wynn with a sacks packed. Randy Wynn, trade bait, Buster?
Definitely. I know at least the Yankees have looked at him, that's for sure.
7-0, bottom 6. Moyer well on his way to career victory number 200. And Buster, this guy's a phenomenon. He's got more wins in his 40s than he did in his 20s. Explain this for us.
Well, it's amazing. You think in 1995, I covered Jamie in Baltimore. At the end of that season, he had 59 career victories. He'd been dumped by 4 teams. He's 33 years old, and since then, if he wins tonight, he'll have 141 victories since then. What Jamie found out, he threw 85, 86 miles an hour. Rather than try to muscle up and go to 86, 87 miles per hour, he learned that you could ratchet down, use the hitter's anxiety against them, throw slower instead of harder, and you see the difference in how he pitches here. He's been amazing.
Oh, he absolutely has been amazing. And Buster, I got a chance to face Jamie a lot. I play with him. But the thing that astonishes me about him is that once he figured out how to pitch, you know, I used to try to bust guys in and out. And here's a good look at this at bat right here. He was so inconsistent. He threw his breaking ball in, tried to get a changeup away, tried to get a good feel for it. He was inconsistent. He found out when I pitch inside, they take me deep. And that really happened quite a bit. This is in '93 when he's in '94 with the Orioles. And then when they get inside, also cheap hits would happen. So he realized if I could, like you said, use the hitter's aggressiveness, keep that ball away from him, they're going to hit into more outs. And as a result, playing behind him, your defense can position yourself, and he allowed everybody to do that, and he's taken off.
I tell you what, before every game, he'd be sitting in the press box getting ready for a game to start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Jamie Moyer would be running and running and running. He would run 4 or 5 miles before every game, whether or not he was pitching.
Yeah, well, he's pitching well again tonight. 5+ shutout innings, and career win number 200 looks imminent for Jamie Moyer. Jason Schmidt pitching well of late, his last start notwithstanding, trying to tame the Cardinal bats, and, well, lights out. This was lights out if ever there was one. we got to get that back because Larry Walker hit one that still hasn't landed.
Hit the transformer in Bristol.
Apparently, because this was an absolute shot. Take a look.
There it is. We'll just pick it up.
Pick it up mid-flight.
There it is.
Went into orbit in between there.
It went around and came back in time enough for him to get the gear on and go get it.
Absolutely crushes it, and apparently we've got some video issues with the Giants and the Cardinals. We'll keep you posted. Right now it's a 3-0 game. St. Louis is on top, but let's talk trades, Buster, as the deadline looms, and we almost had one today with Preston Wilson. Tell us who is likely on the move and who is not so likely on the move.
Well, I think without a doubt, the guy who right now is looking, he assumes he's going to get traded, Matt Lawton of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He has already talked about this. He said he maybe had go for an extension, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen with the Pirates. He certainly would be a guy who could help a lot of teams. You know, corner outfielder. There's always a team looking for corner outfielders this time of year, and this guy's got a lot of experience. And another name I think everyone's going to be looking at, Jose Lima. You know, we've seen him in big moments. If you put him in a big park, he can help that type of team. You know, maybe a team like the Nationals. Exactly. Put him back in the National League. He knows how to pitch. And Preston Wilson, we almost saw him traded today. You figure that after the All-Star game, after general managers have more conversation, he's going to go someplace eventually. It's just a question of when. And then 3 guys who won't, and who've been rumored a lot. Lyle Overbay, we were talking about him before. There's some feeling, hey, they were willing to trade him. What Doug Melvin says, I want to get through the rest of this year. Lyle Overbay, still very low-paid player. They're going to hang on to him. Then in the offseason, they'll start to field offers and maybe go to Prince Fielder next year. Mark Kotsay, he's been rumored in a lot of places, the Yankees most notably, but he's been talking about an extension, and it really seems like Mark Kotsay is negotiating with Oakland, trying to get a deal done. And Roger Clemens, His son, Kobe, drafted by the Astros. He talked to them this week. It seems like that they're headed toward a deal. If he signs with the Astros, you know there's absolutely going to be a possibility that Roger can pitch to his son. There's no way he's going to allow him to be traded anyplace else. He's going to want to pitch to his son.
Let me ask you about two names, Billy Wagner and Corey Patterson. What about those two?
Well, I like Corey. Billy Wagner, I think, would be a guy you could see traded if the Phillies fall out of this thing. I mean, and if this guy hits the market, everyone would want him. A team that he would absolutely make sense for would be the Chicago White Sox. He would turn them into, I mean, the back end of that bullpen would be unbelievable. And then, of course, Corey Patterson, sent down to the minor leagues last night by the Chicago Cubs. You know, they're ready to turn the page on him, and I'm sure they'd be willing to talk trades with other teams.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, Giants trying to come back against St. Louis. We do promise you highlights of that game a bit later on Baseball Tonight. Right now, we stay in the National League West. Pods, Rockies, Tim Stauffer, good-looking rookie for San Diego. But, well, Wilson shaking off the near trade today and losing one at Coors.
Well, I just think it's, you know, whenever you hear about your name, about possible trades and stuff like that, it's tough to concentrate. Hats off to guys that continue to perform like that.
Top three, Brian Giles to the wall. Dave Roberts in, Giles in no man's land.
Look at that cutoff.
Caught in a rundown, but these are the Rockies. He's coming home, and now we've got to play at the plate. And the pitcher, Jamie Wright, covers. Giles is safe. We are tied at 2. In the 6th, B.K. Kim, Ryan Klesko. Swinging for the fences, comes up empty. Next pitch, swinging for the fences, hit one over the fences.
Wow.
That's a granny. Pods running away with this one, 12-2.
Nice place to try to rebuild your career.
Due up on Baseball Tonight. This one hurt in more ways than one. Roy Halladay, questionable for the All-Star game after taking one off the leg. We'll show it to you. And, of course, all the plays deemed web gemmable. We count them down. Top 5 coming up. Couple of would-be All-Star starters in Texas. First of all, the Rocket against the Dodgers. Sharp early on. Jason Worth couldn't hold up. Aesop Choi added to the Century 21 home run derby, but no long ball here.
No.
And Oscar Robles, the cat-like quickness. The Rocket fielding his position.
No panic.
No, not after 42 and change. 5th inning we go. 1-1 ball game. Jeff Kent against his former team. Hot shot up the middle, and that is career hit number 2,000.
He had only allowed 7 hits with runner in scoring position coming in tonight, and he allowed 2 in the 5th inning.
Congratulations, Jeff Kent, man. 2,000 hits.
Big night. 2-1 Dodgers in the 7th. Lance Berkman, mind the gap. Don't touch it. Biggio scores the tying run. It's 2-2. Berkman has himself a
great
triple.
fan awareness. You see him pull the hand
Exactly.
back.
Whoa, wait a minute. Bottom 9, still 2-2, and Brazaban blows another one. Morgan Ensberg looking all-star-like.
Can you believe they're only 1 game under 500 right now? That is incredible how far they've come back.
Willie Taveras in with a gamer. 3-2 Astros. Yeah, it is amazing.
What a
They're in that
score.
wild card race. Giants, Cardinals, Jason Schmidt, Larry Walker, and look at where this thing goes.
There's that ball. Now you see why he knocked the transformer out.
My goodness.
Mercy. I don't think I've seen Barry hit a ball that far there.
Not toward the buoy out there.
Down the line. You get that down the line, my goodness.
Look on the horizon. Candlestick Park, way up on the horizon.
My goodness. And there's one guy out there in the canoe. You take Barry away and all the traffic goes away. Reggie Sanders, nice season he's having for the Cardinals.
He had some good swings earlier in the game, too. He finally caught one.
18th home run for Sanders. It is still a 3-0 game, top 8. The other potential all-star starter in the Lone Star State, that would be Roy Halladay and the Jays in Texas. Bottom 1, Michael Young. Not impressed with Halladay.
I tell you, it's a tough ballpark to pitch in.
Yeah.
You know, when you got guys that can go out any part of the ballpark, it makes it difficult.
Well, and this is tough, too. Halladay has the wherewithal to make a play, but he takes one off the back leg, a shot off the bat of Kevin Mensch.
Well, you're going to watch this again in slow motion. It's going to hit his back leg, and it's going to be right off the calf. I'll tell you what.
Ouch.
Whew.
He would have to leave the game, went 2 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 strikeouts, and clearly now his status for the All-Star game in doubt.
No doubt about it. But there was a little bit more ball game left, and I tell you what, when
was.
a guy like that leaves the game, you start saying, all right, let's go get him, fellas.
And the Rangers come back. It's 6-5 in the ninth. Alfonso Soriano. And we have got ourselves a brand new ball game. 6-6. Still bottom nine. Rod Barajas up the middle. Russ Adams coming home. No. Soriano safe. And the Rangers win a great ball game, 7-6.
You wonder if one thing is going to come out of that Halladay injury, if Matt Clement or Mike Timlin's going to be in the All-Star team.
Yeah.
That's going to bail out Terry Francona.
Yeah, you're right.
And with Halladay going down, obviously this creates several questions for next Tuesday.
Well, it's a left contusion of the leg, and anytime you take a ball, hit off your leg like that, that's going to be very difficult. Went to the hospital for x-rays, still haven't heard word back. Pay attention to the Sports Center. Maybe they'll give you a little bit of an update. But right now, I almost have to agree with Buster. It's going to be very difficult to think now. That would be the first time that he pitches again, and it would be in the All-Star game with that injury. I just can't really see him going to the All-Star game and being able to perform right now. That's sad. It's sad because I thought he may be the starter for the
deserving candidate, no question. No question.
He'll probably be there, but he probably won't participate.
White Sox fans thinking it might be one of their guys. How about this guy? John Garland looking for win number 14, but this was not his night. Bobby Crosby down the first base line.
That's going to score another one.
Scudero in to make it 2-0 A's. Garland, 4 hits, 2 runs in the 3rd inning alone. Bottom 4, Juan Uribe. Dan Johnson, it's a tough play for a first baseman.
Well, it's a tough play, but then again, all you have to do is look at, you know where the runner coming at you is going to be at. Look home first and then go back. He went ahead and went back and tried to go back home.
In the 5th, Crosby tries the other foul line.
You know,
double?
I apologize. When the Garland got off that great start, I mean, sinker ball pitches like that, eventually they give up hits and runs. Eventually they get hit around a little bit.
In the 9th, Houston Street gets Frank Thomas. 4-2. A's have won 11 out of 13. How about the Tribe? Also scorching hot. Yanks trying to cool him down. Jason Giambi, 4 home runs in his last 10 at-bats. This just a solid single to right.
He's getting hot, too. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's feeling a lot better. He needed some ABs, but he also said, I'm just going to pull the ball, and I'm going to hit it where I feel like I need to hit it.
Mariano Rivera, unsung hero. In the 9th, 5-3. Casey Blake to left field with runners at the corners. And Matsui heads up. Let the run score. That run doesn't mean anything. Keep the guy at first base. Rivera's first earned run, by the way, since May the 6th. Next batter, Aaron Boone, who's already 3 for 3. This makes him 4 for 4, but again, Peralta goes to 3rd.
Well, you know, I think it's just interesting the experience of the Yankees in that situation where Matsui caught that ball.
And not only the experience of the Yankees, but Buster, are we seeing sort of a change in philosophy in the Bronx?
Yeah, I really think we are. I think the Brian Cashman, general manager, Gene Michael, who was, I think, the architect of the dynasty in the 90s, in their conversations in the meeting that they had last month, they basically said, look, we have to get younger. We have to start relying on younger players. And for the first time in Steinbrenner's, the time Steinbrenner's been an owner, they've actually started thinking about next year as well. It's not just we have to win this year. And so when the other night they played for the first time since 1996, 2 guys before September call-ups, 22 years and younger. 96 was Ruben Rivera and Derek Jeter. Yesterday was Cano and Melky Cabrera. So you're seeing the Yankees clearly going through an evolutionary shift in their history.
But make no mistake, they still have to win this year.
And they're still spending a lot of money, and they still can make big moves.
You always have to win this
Right.
year when you play for the New York Yankees. Moving on, Twins, Royals, and Zach Greinke. Can I get some better luck, please? 1-10 coming in. Torrey Hunter not helping the cause. RBI number 54 for Hunter as Nick Punto scores to make it 2-0. Bottom 4, here come the Royals. John Buck scores Martin and Angel Baroa, and Kansas City's up 3-2. Maybe some sunshine for Zach Greinke. Maybe not. Tied at 3 here, and this is critical. Could be a double play ball instead. Only the 1 out at first.
You know, those are the things that happen with young teams. You know, they boot routine balls. It's almost like watching AAA baseball at times.
And the Twins win 5-4.
What happened?
1-11. Due up on baseball tonight. Pedro Martinez will not be an All-Star. Should there be ramifications for said decision? Nats fills, bases loaded, Jose Guillen. And this is a troublesome scenario for young Robinson Tejeda.
Well, it was after an intentional walk to get to Guillen. He was already a little bit wild, and he had to put one down the middle, and Guillen took care of it.
So that makes it 5-0.
Oh.
A scary moment here. Jeff Geary.
Jeez.
One hops it off his face.
Ow. You don't see that very often. At the outside pitch, he tried to hook. Man.
Shaken up, he would leave the game. Bottom 9, 8-7 Washington. Chad Cordero trying to lock it down. Ryan Howard already with a couple of RBI doubles.
He got it! Oh.
I don't think he did. I think he's about 2 feet short. But you know who thought he had it?
Ryan Howard.
Look at this. Yeah, I am the man.
Oh, you get pumped the face.
Oh, goodness.
Tell you what, in that ballpark, supposed to go out.
Not in
Hurricane Dennis.
Brewers, Braves, Jorge Sosa and company looking for win number 6 in a row. 4th inning, Billy Hall right back up the box.
I like Billy Hall, man. They're trying to play him all over the place. See him at third, see him at short, and you see him run a good gun.
Well, Jeff Jenkins he's waved home, and Rich Donnelly must have forgotten who's in center field here, because Andrew Jones, it's like fish in a barrel.
Courtesy slide.
Bottom 9, 1-1 game. Andy Marte due up. He is called back in favor of Adam LaRoche to face Julio Santana, and it works. Base hit center field. Pete Orr to third with 1 out. So after an intentional walk to load the bases, Jeff Francoeur is due up, and he's called back for Ryan Langerhans.
Roy Clark deserves a raise. He's the guy doing all the scouting down there. Kurt Kemp, my buddy, and the crew.
Well, I tell you who's the genius on this night. Bobby Cox. Langerhans delivers. Braves win 2-1.
Atlanta rookies ranked 2nd in RBIs runs. It's amazing for a team that's trying to contend.
Getting a lot of play. Due up on baseball tonight. Could it be chemistry issues in Boston? We will discuss.
Oh.
Cubs, Marlins, Dontrell Willis looking for win number 14. Tie game in the 3rd. Win 9-6. Mets, Pirates, straight to the 9th inning. 5-1 New York. First and second, 1 out. Brian Daubach. Right field. And this is fundamentally sound baseball. Matt Lawton. Jose Castillo. Ryan Domit. Wow. Castro is out.
And that's what's so great when you got guys in the middle that have great arms. That is a missile that he threw to the plate.
Nice.
Blocking the plate, the kid.
Great pickup by the catcher.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, bottom 9, Braden Looper trying to close out a 5-1 game, but he's in trouble. 2 out, bases loaded, and Tyke Redmond up the middle. Castillo in, Darrell Ward in.
Here's the problem with Looper. He allows such a high average of lefties, hitting 324, right-handers 214. You see a lefty pick on him right here.
That would be Lawton, and that would be trouble. Cliff Floyd, nothing but air. Jack Wilson scores, Redmond scores. We're tied.
A lot of people will look back to this AB, but it was Tyke Redmond's at bat. He had about 11 pitches at bat before he got that base hit.
Yep, good call. Floyd again. Made some great plays in left field, but that was not one of them. So we go bonus baseball, and in the 10th, a right-handed hitter gets to Looper. Humberto Cota, Rob Makoviak scores. Pirates come from 5-1 down in the 9th.
On a 2-out hit,
2
2-strike
in
hit.
the 10th. Now, speaking of the Mets, Pedro Martinez has indicated, Buster, that he will not pitch in the All-Star game next week. Now, we see this fairly regularly with players opting out of the game. Should there be something that baseball can do to sort of give some disincentive for this sort of thing?
Yeah, I think there's something that they can do. Now, give Pedro Martinez credit. He backed out in the right way. He gave Major League Baseball enough time to, contact Billy Wagner and get him into the game, get his family a chance to go to the game. But hey, if Pedro Martinez doesn't want to go, and this is a voluntary withdrawal, what they should do is say, if you don't want to play in the All-Star game, then the following year you are not eligible for consideration. We're not going to put your name on the ballot. We're not going to put your name on a player's ballot. If you don't want to come to the game, that's fine, but we're not going to bother talking about you. I mean, this should be an honor. The players should be there when selected, even if they're not going to pitch. And Pedro said, I don't want to go because of a question, I want to stay healthy. But, it's crazy that he just simply doesn't want to go.
There's a lot of guys that end up not wanting to go to the All-Star game, and that's really, their opinion. The tough thing for Major League Baseball is you want those star players to go. All of a sudden, you give an exemption that, okay, well, next year you're not going. You may have that player say, okay, well, then fine, no problem. And the sadness of this is that I understand Pedro's situation. He's going to be 2 days removed. He's going to go away, and that's his excuse. That's his prerogative. But I think there are players. I remember I got into an All-Star game because Lou Whitaker didn't want to go to a game. Ended up having
sure, it's great for the guy who gets a chance to
play.
play.
It's outstanding for me. But, in the end, it ends up hurting the game of baseball a little bit.
Well, from Pedro.
But I appreciate it. Thank you, Lou.
Pedro's. I hope this isn't the first time you're thanking him. It's a little late. Pedro's former team taking on the O's. Johnny Damon working on that hit streak off of Sidney Ponson and call it 23 straight. Oh, by the way, Damon went 4 for 5. That's a way to extend the streak.
That's a good streak. You got to work.
In the 6th, Sir Sidney walks David Ortiz to load the bases. Ponson out. Chris Ray in. First pitch to the backstop. All right, that'd be ball 1. Now 3-0. Got to groove one to Manny, and, well, that's what happens when you groove one to Manny.
Think about this. In their victories this year, Manny's hitting .335, and their losses, .194. He's the man who drives the ship.
Who's the man? Rafi Palmeiro is the man.
That would be hit number 2995.
And career home run number 564. Red Sox win
career numbers are amazing. Start looking at it.
And we will talk much more about that as he closes in on the 3,000 hit plateau. Rafi Palmeiro in a losing cause. Of course, lost in the 7-2 victory tonight, Buster. The Red Sox suddenly having some chemistry issues in the clubhouse. I mean, these guys were the poster children for team chemistry the last 2 years. What's going on?
Well, we saw the other night when Jay Payton comes back into the dugout and he basically confronts his manager and the bench coach over a lineup change in the dugout. That tells you right now the Red Sox have a culture of complaint in their clubhouse. And I know covering the Yankees from '98 to 2001, those guys work so hard keeping their internal problems internal. And what we've seen time and again in recent days, the Red Sox players complaining, whether it's Schilling going to be the closer, some questions about whether or not Millard should be the regular everyday first baseman. This has to be a distraction if it keeps going on. These guys are in first place.
Well, the interesting thing was with Johnny Damon making his comments about Curt Schilling, making it public. Usually don't hear things like that publicly. And Terry Francona immediately pulling him in, and the whole tone changed. It all starts at the top. It starts with the manager and management. And I thought it was very good for the Red Sox that Terry, a lot of people say, oh, he's not strong enough. Yes, he is. He went in and said, here's what we're going to do, guys, and he explained it. And he does a great job of saying, I made a mistake not speaking about it sooner. And he tried to put a lid on this thing. I think we will see a lid put on this from the Red Sox standpoint. But you can't have things seeping out into the media, and all of a sudden you get distractions going through your clubhouse. You just can't have it happen.
You know what? All-Star break coming up, all forgotten in the next 5 days. Right?
Or all talked about. We'll see.
Due up on baseball tonight, we count down the top 5 web gems. But first, Jay Harris, please tell us what we can expect coming up on Outside the Lines.
Web Gems is brought to you by Lipitor. Ask your doctor if Lipitor is right for you.
Top 5 web gems on a Friday. Number 5, Jason Bay.
Oh, not that one.
Left field, trouble.
Yeah. Oh, great play. Jason Bay will be representing Canada in the home run Derby on Monday.
Number 4, your nightly Twins representative will be Jock Jones. Coming on and making a play.
He's had a nice year. Free agent at the end of the season. It's going to see what happens with Jock.
Yeah.
He's cashing in.
Number 3, shortstop, Bobby Crosby. To the hole, gets up.
This young man's going to be
Man.
he's got a gun. He's going to be a great player.
He's not pretty, but he makes plays.
He gets it done, yes.
This is pretty. Edgar Renteria getting dirty.
Woo. He's pretty.
That was a laser.
Yeah, he is.
And your top web gem on a Friday, Melvin Mora at the hot corner. Going across the foul line to make a play. And robbing Kevin Mala.
It's Baltimore. You got to look like Brooks.
Yeah. All right, that's the glove work. Now the big sticks. We touch them all, beginning with Miguel Cabrera off a rare hanging curveball from Carlos Zamorano.
Right field in that park. That is impressive.
He's strong. Imagine if he was playing in Philly.
Strong like bull.
Wow.
A moonshot. Jeremy Burnett's first home run by a lefty off of Dontrell this year. Hank Blaylock, another lefty who can swing it. This off of Halladay.
And the real story, Roy Halladay left the game with a contusion in his left leg.
Day to day.
We'll have to say day to day.
Troy Gloss, 19 home runs here.
You know what? Hats off to him, come back this year and playing like he has. Nobody expect that from that shoulder injury.
Bases loaded, not anymore. Ryan Klesko, the granny, 9th of his career off of Yun Kim. The shot of the night, courtesy of Larry Walker. Oh, yeah. It almost hits Candlestick. This thing almost to Palo Alto.
That is a bomb.
Nobody that far out in the water.
The canoers are going to get there tomorrow morning, I think.
Ken Griffey Jr., this historic. 518 career home runs and now over 1,500 RBI.
Telling you what, man.
When I punch my ballot, Hall of Fame, he will be in there.
How about this guy?
Yep, no question.
564 home run and career hit number 2995. We update you from Anaheim. Jamie Moyer with a 7-0 lead. Benji Molina changing all that with a 3-run bomb.
Moyer looking for his 200th career win.
So that makes it 7-3. But
Hold on, Jamie. Hold on.
Jeff Devannon with Go Yard. His first of the season.
Jamie, hold on.
It's a 7-4 victory. Now, if Moyer holds on for that win, number 200, he would join 3 other pitchers of the 200 win clubs with more wins after turning 40 than before turning 30. 2 knuckleballers, Niekro and Huff, and a legal spitballer, Jack Quinn. He was grandfathered in after spitballs were banned from the game.
That's pretty good company for Jamie Moyer right there.
More wins after 40 than before 30. Would be unbelievable. Thanks for watching Baseball Tonight. For Buster Olney and Harold Reynolds, I am Scott Reese. The trifecta continues with Outside the Lines and Jay Harris.